I apologize. Probably there was a lot of echo there, and that's I'm gonna have to edit that out for the VOD. Hi, and welcome once again to the Dragon Age Inquisition playthrough that I'm doing. Let me, as always, trying to close all the windows, as it were, resolve all the issues, as it were, so that I don't have the problems, as it were. Checking. There we are. So last time, we helped Cassie with her little problem with the. We find out what the truth about the seekers of truth. And I haven't decided yet how much I'm going to show of the Cassandra romance. I probably want to do that before tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be playing. I'll be playing the RPG game. The game has a name, which I put in the description of the link to it. Check me out at RP Glory. I'll be starting at around 1 o'clock Eastern, US. I'll be playing the Captain, Tarquin, of the Tarquin's Gamble. And we're going to go from there. And it's going to be about a 3-hour game. And then after that, we're going to, at 8 o'clock, we're going to, if everything goes according to plan, we're going to do Monster Hunter on PC, which should drop tomorrow. It usually drops around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock Eastern, because it's all times are Pacific, because Valve is in Seattle. If you notice sort of the background and all of that, that's because they're doing landscaping in my apartment complex, and so it's a bit noisy. So if it's a bit noisy in the background, please let me know, chat, so that I can adjust accordingly or do my best. Once attached to a weapon, wounds cannot be removed. You can attach any wound on top of an old wound. Oh. I didn't know you could actually substitute the rune. That's interesting. So now we're in the Western approach, and we're gonna do a bit of dragon hunting. Well, that and are we in the Western approach, or did I go back to Skyhold? I think I went back to Skyhold to fix up the courtyard, I believe. Yes. Oh, we were going to sit in judgment of some people.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
If the mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood? Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
Yes, you should have. I guess I don't stand in judgment of anyone else. Let's see. Let's talk to Josephine for a sec.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
Certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty, forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
We lost far too many good people to that monster.
I'm sure they'll find rest with the Maker. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lord. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
You don't have to be so formal just because I'm Inquisitor now, Josephine.
Our allies and guests should see you treated with every courtesy, Inquisitor, especially considering the newness of your office. Fortunately, after your courage at Haven, it's no difficult task to do so.
Oh, Josie. You're so cute. See what we have here.
Skyhold does seem more secure than Haven.
Only if we have the numbers to defend it. A place like this serves no purpose without enough people to make the running worthwhile. To work?
Let's see what we have.
Cameron his deck, fully armored, locked in an inner room in his home, a knife in his bag. He knew someone was coming for him. Ironically, the scene was actually the same as the one in the first Hard and High 10 novel. Someone sent a professional after his magistrate. They had to leave a trail. Cooper. Interesting. Okay. Okay then. So I get to sell them. Something to be... a gift to be sold. Like, oh, what you did with that stuff that I sent you? Well, I, sold it. What? But it was for the Inquisition. Yeah, I sold it because I couldn't really use it. But you don't have any other mages? Not really. Just didn't think that was that important. Oh, this place. How to act in Ferelden. My esteemed Lady Sidonia. Yeah, it's a story about also a cool thing about the not Cheriton. There's a quest here about finding books, but I activated it once and then wasn't able to do so. It replicated again.
First, a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
There's no end of it. I can store...
To break in a new staff. Ugh. Wow, that's pretty abusive.
What? Assassins? Templars? Mages? Magisters?
Let's start knocking out some of the quests around here. Just walk away. Tell me how do you leaving? Let's take Cole for a spin. Chant for the departed. Light shall lead her safely to the path of the world and to the next. For she who trusts in the Maker fires in water, and the moth sees light and goes toward flame. We shall see fire. I don't wonder who writes all that poetry. Said Stroud. Chevalier. Let's start closing rifts, shall we? No, I don't have to jump from over here as I get
Nothing
myself
to report,
killed.
sir.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
At least they are fresh. Although I doubt the High Dragon will care.
Okay, I found those shards. Never. Yes, yes, I found the shards. Thank you. Jeez. Shake that tail feather. I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm going to go to where Hawk is supposed to be, so I can finish this immediate area, clear it, and move on. Besides, I need to clear a castle too before I... Nice shortcut. Shortcut to where? I have no idea, but it's supposed to be a shortcut. And there's a cave, so let's go into the cave. Hey, Hector, how you doing? Ah, there it is. Mosaic piece. I still have to find the there's one missing from the hinterlands, which I don't have yet. Elite mercenary coats. Fetty Journal. We know that they were here. They put on those awful statues of Andrastas looking snobbish everywhere they go. Not much of a secret location. We know they found a way to reverse tranquility, but so far nothing we uncovered has told us how they did it. I hate this statue. She keeps sneering at me. Okay then. Very much so. Yeah. It is a desert after all. Now that I know, I've never been to a genuine desert. Here in Puerto Rico, we have savanna, sort of. Because the island is kind of like a rectangle with the southeast part of it sort of cut off, and Hello. And it's interesting because in the middle of the island there's a mountain range, which is part of a much larger mountain range that goes all the way to the Florida Straits, all the way down. It's very interesting. In Florida, it's just flat as all there is, but the Caribbean is a series of mountainous islands all the way to South America, all because they're volcanic islands. And so every island either is created around a mountain that used to be a volcano, or in some cases an active volcano or a series of mountains. What happens is that the rain comes to Puerto Rico comes from the northeast mostly. So the center of the island and the north of the island where I live, it gets very rainy. We get a lot of rain. But in the south, because of the mountains, there's rain shadow. So they don't get as much rain. They still get rain, but not as much. Which I think is interesting. That's probably the closest I've been to an actual desert. Outside of, movies and whatnot. In fact, to be honest, I think that, I've been in the States, but the further east I've been in the United States has been, Chicago. So the Midwest. I always wanted to go to California and all those places, see the Pacific coast. But never had a chance. Maybe one of these days. I have places I want to go to. I love to travel, so I would love to go to the Pacific. I would love to go to England. I've been to Spain and France, but not England. Very briefly, a couple of days on each, but no. And that's close by a couple of 1,000 miles, by the way. Or kilometers, as the case may be. The U.S. is a big country. It's a big country. It is. This is the thing about experience and stuff like that. It's very hard to imagine when you come especially from an island which is a relatively small island. I mean, there's a lot of people here, millions of people. But it's still a small island. You can traverse if you really wanted to take the longest route around on a car. I think it would take you about 5 hours travel by car. If you go all the way around the island, right? That'd probably be the farthest you would need to go. The most time-consuming 5-6 hours, maybe? Depending how many stops you make and all that. But that probably would be the most. So it's relatively small island. You can basically reach by car. You can reach almost all destinations in about 2 to 3 hours at most. 4 if you're really going to the other side of the island, right? So when I live in the States, 3 or 4 hours travel, I'd still be inside the same state. Whether it's Florida or Michigan or Illinois. So it's interesting. Well, at least it helps that it's raining in the summer, because I heard that Britain has a heat wave, which I don't think would affect me that much because I'm used to the heat. But I can understand if you're not used to the heat or you get used to another temperature. Usually, here's the thing about getting used to, quote unquote, the heat or the cold. It isn't so much the actual temperature per se, I would say, although certainly that is something. But I would rather say that it's the changes in temperature. I lived in Michigan for about 3 years. And I remember by the first time I went back to the States, it was for Thanksgiving, back to Puerto Rico. And I was, and it's November, and I was sweating profusely. Why? Because my body had gotten used to the temperatures. I would say the overall difference was no more than, in Fahrenheit, about 10 degrees, maybe 20 at the most. I mean, it wasn't freezing in Michigan, and it wasn't really sweltering. It was probably in the 70s, temperature-wise. So the overall, we're not really talking about absolute temperatures, but there was just enough of a change there that it felt completely different. I think if I go to Britain, I guess not simply England, but Britain. It's just, you have Britain, Northern Ireland, Republic of the British Isles are England, Cornwall, Wales, Scotland, various archipelagos, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland. Those are British Isles, not necessarily. And Greater Britain and UK are all those things except, United Kingdom includes Scotland, and Greater Britain doesn't include Scotland, I think.
I'm glad you made it.
I don't know how it's defined, really.
I fear they've already started the ritual.
So Scotland is part of the UK because Scottish kings went down to, was it James the First or James the Second who went down to London and assumed the crown. Well, anyway, we'll stop the history lesson for a moment. That's not menacing. Oh no. Yeah, that's not.
Wait! No.
This jackass.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death,
I'm sorry.
sacrifice.
I can understand the. I can understand the.
Just as I showed you.
The wardens being desperate, but this just seems plainly stupid. Okay, yeah. So what is the difference between Great Britain
Inquisitor.
and United Kingdom?
What an unexpected pleasure.
Maybe they
Lord
just...
Livius Eramond of Virantium, at your service.
Yeah.
You are no warden.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
Looks like you've already done some of my work for me.
What, him? We simply needed his blood. Oh, were you hoping to garner sympathy? Maybe make the Wardens feel a bit of remorse? Wardens, hands up!
Well, Republic of Ireland is part of the United
down.
Kingdom?
Corypheus has taken
Aren't
their
they
mind.
independent?
They did this to themselves.
Politically speaking?
You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even to Vinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan.
I think a lot of people in Ireland would
Lead the
disagree.
demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now
Well,
my
we'll keep
master's
the
slaves.
secret between you and I. Just
This
we're
was
not
a
gonna
test.
spread it around.
Once the rest of the Wardens complete the
We
ritual,
don't want to get
the
troubles
army
again.
will conquer Thedas.
Yeah.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool. As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god kings here in the world.
Yeah.
It's all I needed to know.
Oh, please. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be...
I like shutting him up like that. Yes, a couple of rebellions, couple of centuries of rebellions and wars would point in that direction. Check.
Kill them!
Oh, yes, they're in the same island, of course.
Listen to reason.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual.
You know,
What a waste.
you should clean that up. That unless that's makeup, dude, that's kind of dried old blood. It's, ugh.
Eramund lied to the Wardens. They were trying to prevent future blights.
With blood magic and human
Well, no,
sacrifice.
it's part of this. Well,
They
Cornwall.
had their reasons.
It's interesting
All blood mages do.
because
Everyone has a story they tell
it
themselves
is
to justify bad
both
decisions.
one of the most British
never mattered.
parts of Britain,
In
right?
the end,
you
you
would
were
think of
always
Britain as the
alone
land of
in
the
your actions.
Bretons, and not England as a part
I
of the
believe I know where the
Anglo-Saxons.
Wardens are, your worship.
Um,
Erimund fled in that direction.
but there are certainly people in
There's an
Cornwall who
abandoned Warden fortress
consider
that
Cornwall
way.
to be, well, Cornish first.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you
I
back
guess
at
they're in the
Sky.
minority right now, but still. It cannot be so easily dismissed, or should be. And a language too, a version of Celtic. Which, well, no, I don't know exactly if it's taught in the same way that it's taught, Welsh is taught in Wales. I mean, I'm an Anglophile. Let's put it that way. And I'm fascinated by English history, British history. And it's interesting that the Welsh are named the Welsh because the Anglo-Saxon called them, foreigners in their own land. But there you go. Okay, let's clean up this area right here before we try to kill the dragon. Like, yes, you people who live here, you are the foreigners. Like, we leave here. Yeah.
Inquisitor.
But do you have a flag? Like, neither do you. Oh, all right then. Oh, sorry. Never mind. That's, you don't know where that comes from. That's fine. Well, the difference between the Anglo-Saxons and the Franks, ethnically, I suppose, not culturally, but ethnically, wasn't that far away because the Franks were Vikings. So, extended Nordic, Germanic peoples, you know. Yeah, I gotta turn in the quest here. Let me wait. I think it's one of the reasons why I love Dungeons and Dragons and I love fantasy games in general. It's sort of I have a minor in history, so
It seems very unlikely that she could be
There you go.
nesting at this time of year.
I have to keep up with.
Fellow researcher, how can I help you?
Oh no, I thought I finished that quest.
We'll have to speak some other time.
I didn't finish that quest. Let me see. Signs, dragon signs. Oh, okay. I didn't finish that quest. So, yeah, I always find it very interesting.
Inquisitor.
Well, landmark first. Right there with my love of Greek mythology. Ooh, that's when I was a kid, some other kids were collecting dinosaurs. I was collecting Greek myths. Reading about Apollo and Zeus and Bellerophon and Heracles and all those folks. It is. However, it can kind of spoil fantasy for me in a way. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I haven't got into Game of Thrones. Like, I'll be like, oh, Game of Thrones is awesome. And I will grant you that the writing is pretty good. How George J.R. Martin writes is great. He writes fantastic combat scenes and all of that. That's a great touch with that. But the problem is, if you kind of know a little bit about English history, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this is War of the Roses, right? This is one of many English civil wars. And I also don't necessarily like stories that are relentlessly, dark. I like a little hope in my stories. In fact, I even think that the map of Westeros is the map of Greater Britain reversed and enlarged. Like Cersei, for example, is an example of all the so-called wolf queens of England, right? All the women who have attempted to claim on their own right the crown of England, at least in the Middle Ages. You know about them, you kind of know about Cersei. Vienna now is with that ice spell. She's like my go-to girl right now. She's killer. You two are gonna die. Talking of which, since I'm already here, might as well do that. Whoa, that's a nasty castle right there. That's a dark fantasy castle if you ever saw one. Vivian is killing it with the crowd control. Oh, my next mage is going to be a frost mage. Have fun storming the castle. And also because I'm a lover of history, I wish that more... I said this before. I think I said... You heard me say this before, Hector, in chat. I would prefer that more fantasy stories actually... Even though I complain about Game of Thrones... I do like the idea, especially Game of Thrones, of the stories that really use historical precedent, especially video games, because there's just a ton of stuff out there that is just weird and bizarre. And we're talking about a roughly 1,500 years of history covering the whole of Europe, Northern Africa, and the Middle East, from the Atlantic to the Okay, let's attack the castle right through the toilet. From the Urals to... No, you're not going anywhere.
Shall we knock?
It will be my pleasure.
That's what I really like about this game. Is the mage crowd control. I think is the most powerful thing. I heard of characters being one-man armies, but... This is ridiculous. In a good way.
Here, Inquisitor! I am ready to serve!
You're ready to die, dude.
I join your glory.
Cowl of the Overseer. Let's spread the joy with a lightning bolt.
It's a solid fortress. The Inquisition could make use of it.
No, I'm not gonna do that. It's a waste of time. Okay, let's loot everything that we can loot before we activate the fortress. Hand it over to the Inquisition. First of all, let's look at this Overseer's cowl. Vivian, can you use it? Actually, you could use it. There you go. Blackwall still has... Blackwall needs a better hat. I need to give him... Nope. What a lovely view. What was that? Oh, there must be something down there, but I'm not gonna jump from the battlements. Like, yeah, how do you want to die? Well, didn't make it, that's for sure. My boy is athletic, but not that jumpy. Loots. I'm gonna have to sell a lot of this crap. I should go back to the Emporium. I think they probably have something bit better for me than what I'm using right now. A lot of grays. Well, not really useless, but I think it's the place which has the largest number of still not intact but visible castles, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm into medieval castles, so yeah, that would be a great place to visit. For a fortress, it has a lot of open areas people can just waltz in. A rope and a and some climbing gear, and I would have waltzed around one of those walls. I mean, look at this. It's just exposed. Ah, masterwork firm pummel. I do like the crafting. I said that before. I do not like the excess of crap that this game has for some reason. I mean, I think it's just there, vendor trash. It's just there to make money, but... And it's a little better if you have, like I have, the DLC with the Black Emporium, but still. Let's see what Viv is wearing. Viv is wearing... She's wearing Ice Walker Vigorous Free Armor. Yeah, that's from the Black Emporium. I could tint it something else, but I like the green. Looks nice on her. I took away her gaudy horn helmet thing that she wears. That thing is crap. Makes it look like a circus clown. Okay. Picked up all the garbage. Now off to claim the territory. Yeah, I'd like to also see Offa's Dyke as well. Which isn't what most people would think it is. I think it would take me like a month to like spend a month in Cornwall and England, another month in Wales, especially hiking. I certainly need the exercise. In Scotland, another month in Scotland. Ireland would be like an entire summer. So yeah, it would be like an entire summer worth. I've known a couple people from.
You're early. We've barely been set up a week. I have a patrol out at the moment. Some of the men cited darkspawn in the area. I have reports that bandits have taken up squatting in the fortress the wardens abandoned. We're reasonably well entrenched here, but the keep's water supply has been problematic. It's causing delays. I'll prepare the troops for inspection at once.
Report. What's the situation in the Warden's fortress?
Bandits moved in. Worse than
I wouldn't drive in Britain because I'm not used to driving on the left. But I would certainly take the trains. Although the trains are, I heard the trains are not as good as they used to be back in the day.
Emerged since we took the keep. I've warned the troops not to engage unless absolutely necessary. We don't need a blight in the ranks. We have to find whatever hole the monsters came from and seal it.
What's wrong with the water supply?
The fort's well is full of garbage. Blasted Venatori threw corpses in.
I mean, you can fly. Britain is big enough that you would probably fly. Say, if you're going from, I don't know,
4 soldiers have already
Edinburgh to London and back. Worth a flight, but I wouldn't do it.
Report, Captain. What's the situation in the western approach?
I've had scouts investigate that red lyrium operation you smashed. I don't think anyone's getting into that cave anytime soon.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Okay. Oh, I got 12 poisons. Potions. Okay. I don't want to craft armor. Oh, where do I? Okay. Oh, mod armor. Empty that. Empty that. Okay, never mind. I can only go through the characters that I have. Okay, he's not using the Ice Walker. Black Wall, what are you using? Again, not the... Cassie. Okay, so nobody's using the Ice Walker. I can take the stuff from the Ice Walker and empty it. No, wait. Oh, okay, I can empty it. Okay, never mind. And just sell it. Varric. Oh, he's using this one. Sarah. Sarah's always under armored for some reason. You're not wearing any armor? Okay, let me see. Having to change back and forth. What are you wearing? 162. Okay. That means that, yeah. Yeah, that's underpowered right there. Modify weapons. Should I? No, I'm not gonna waste the. But she doesn't have a room. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you're going full warden there. Oh, okay. Okay. Now to sell all the crap that I have.
Inquisitor.
I always like to have like healing items, mods on my items because they just gives my mages. I think the best abilities are healing and guard. I think guard is like the best ability ever because it just turns everybody into a tank, regardless of class. And if you can do life draining, that's even better. Staring, bit of healing. They look great, but they're kitty color? Ah, but it's minus 100 damage resistance? Yeah, no. That's bait. That's no. Yeah, I mean, no, no. I mean, it looks like it's good, but no, but it isn't. No, nope. I think so. Yeah. Briefly, they conjure the memory of a little girl. Yeah, it is from the DLC. Honlith. It's like is it Control Z? No. Sorry. Never mind. No. All right. Never mind. I was trying to take a pick, but I can take it from the bot. Shell's DLC, yeah. I'm selling it.
I need elf root and embryo, as much as you've got.
Find this far out.
I need elf root and embryo.
No way I'm keeping that kitty color. It had been plus 100. Yeah, I would have been great, but it's like
The air is poison. We can't get through.
The Darkspawn got through. I'll have to see what our people at Skyhold can do.
Phoenix. I don't say Phoenix, but it's not Phoenix. It's Phoenix. Ah, Darkspawn. That's a big Darkspawn. But one thing this game doesn't seem to have is ogres. Like, I like the designs of the Darkspawn in Origins. That is not an ogre. Ouch. Even though it hits hard. Yeah. Not enough ogres. The ogres were pretty intimidating, I'll say that much. They'll grab you and squeeze you and throw you around. You're like, ugh.
We should find out. This is exactly what the Wardens are supposed to prevent.
Okay, I don't want to just keep killing the same guys over and over again. Can I go there without getting poisoned? Apparently I can. I guess if somebody has to check their tail feather, huh? Oh, they breathe fire. I didn't realize that Phoenix actually bred fire. First time I seen that. There we are. Indeed, it shook its tail feather.
Inquisitor.
What was that? Oh, my fellow researcher. What can I do for you?
One tail feather and one batch of intestines, as requested.
My friend, you are invaluable. I will certainly note your assistance in my monograph on the High Dragon. I will attempt to lure her out as soon as my background research is complete. Mistakes could be deadly. The ancient Tevinters wrote volumes on the study of dragons. I believe they had a laboratory in this desert. If only their work had not been lost. Truly, the Blights set the field of draconology back centuries. Deplorable.
I've spotted several dragon signs around the approach.
Most excellent, my friend. I don't suppose you noted the wound pattern? No matter, I'll look into that later. Andraste's mercy. From what I can tell, the dragon has been moving east and will be scouring the wastes next. Naturally, the dragon's hunting ground is full of miscreants, White Claw raiders. They've covered the area in traps for Maker only knows reasons. Quite a mess.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Now I want to do this quest right here because this quest is for Black Wall, and there's also a rift, so it's a 2-for-1 situation. Okay, it's horse time.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a mistake. Those little flying witches are deadly.
Good find.
Let me see what we have here. Nothing back here, apparently. But there might be something here. That's one fancy, whatchamacallit. Forgot what it is. A bow of helpful hazards. That seems like a contradiction in terms. It seems like a contradiction in terms because it is a contradiction in terms. Yeah, that's Legion, alright. Can't make anything just simple. It has to be extra fancy for some reason. But monsieur, we like the feathering. It's like that. It gives it panache. As they say, it gives it panache. Cheese eating mother. Well, you could hide from my lightning strikes, huh? Well, that's one lady that has very tight pants that is very dead now. Miss Tight Pants over here just died. Well, that's gonna take a while since tomorrow it's Monster Heart, so I don't know how long it's gonna take me. Of course, then again, it might not work at all, in which case, it won't matter, will it? Will it? But yeah, that's one of the best quest lines in the game, certainly. Without a doubt. What do we have here? Magical barrier. Level 15. Good. It all will sort itself out in the end. Creation of phylactery. We let the boy rest. The first night they brought him to the White Spire, I convinced Knight Commander Belrose to delay the ritual till the morning. The journey was long and the lad could barely keep his eyes open. Poor thing. I was certain escape was the furthest thing from his mind. Medine found him a clean cot and the other young apprentices, and when I came with him supper, he was ready fast asleep. The phylactery is very interesting, the use of a phylactery here, because that comes from, I think, well, it comes from D&D, and D&D takes it from, I think, Russian mythology. Let's see. That's a heavy armor if I... Templar Commander. Nope. He has better. If I'm not mistaken. A mosaic. You know, in order to keep a leech alive. And here they use it to leech mages. Which is, you know, also shows that even blood magic is used by the Chantry. Whether they want to admit it or not. I'm not going to use Lightning Bolt as a power because really it's... Actually, I never found it to be very good. Yes, I think it's a demon or a mage called Kuchisi or Kuchesi. Who... Or a king. I don't remember the particulars. But the idea was that he was immortal because he kept his heart in a stone box underneath a frog in a stone box, I think at the bottom of the sea or something. In other words, you could kill the physical body, but of course, as long as the heart survived, i.e. the phylactery, he would come back to life, right? His body would reconstitute. And leeches are also a monster, which is I think a Celtic mythology. I'm not really sure where they got that from. I think it's a term for a term for the dead, if I'm not mistaken. And so Gary Gygax and company, they basically combined things and said, well, let's do this. Okay, let me see. You have the chain, right? Oh. And I wouldn't be surprised it's again, because I always call Dragon Age BioWare's homebrew D&D campaign. They took that idea and said, hey, let's turn it into blood magic that is designed to keep mages leeched. More dwarven ruins. More mosaic pieces. A vigorous staff. Memorial. Warden Constable Valden's Dace. Annika Torsek. Bartel Arn Terek. This is memorial to dwarven wardens. Interesting. Dornam Idukin. Tamasket Gaborn. Gaborn, by the way, is also a name used in Mass Effect. I don't remember who used to say. Probably it's based on a real life name. Probably. Yeah. They're probably all dwarves. More skills. Okay. What I'm gonna do next? Destroy all the traps. Okay, let's set it up so that I have a half an hour or so. So let's set it up so that next time we have ourselves a dragon fight. And then with what we harvest from the dragon, we go and we have Vargest. Yeah, Captain Gaborn. Yeah. So we have dwarves and a Turian. Or they just like to reuse names. Sort of an Easter egg. And there is another Easter egg in here that it's related to Mass Effect that some people have extrapolated, well, wrong. But it's fun to speculate. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. Okay, finding all these traps is a bit of a... I'm gonna fight you. Might as well. Everybody get their drinky. What the hell are the other traps, though? Where the hell did they go? Damn, girl. You should have run when you had the chance, but you didn't. Elderly gentlemen, your mistakes are beginning to distress me. I told you to make the equipment and leave the research team alive. Perhaps you don't know the difference between life and death. If you cock this up again, I'll be happy to demonstrate the decision for your in detail. Oh, somebody's angry. Yeah, there you go. Those are your historical sources right there. Although he does seem to have he has a posh English accent as opposed to a Cornish one. Although I don't think I know the difference right now. There's another. No, wait. I'm running around, can't find the traps. I did that one already. They look like they're bowls full of poo. Shouldn't be that hard to spot. Oh, there's one, I think. Well. That's
Whoever said that is going to come looking.
Let them. You know what? I'm probably gonna just do if I can. No, I have to go back to Sky Hall to do the. Oh, here they come. What I really need is those Venatori tomes, and I don't have it. Oh, maybe it's easier. To use your real accent, right? Might as well. And the North American accent just feels off for a fantasy novel for some reason. Talk about accents. Wedge, you know Wedge Antilles, the character from Star Wars. In the first two movies, he used an American accent. But in the third movie, he was allowed to use his Scottish borderland accent. I think he's uncle. He's uncle to Ewan McGregor, if I'm not mistaken.
The raiders are no longer in the way.
I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. I must locate my supplies to create the bait. Then we can proceed.
Okay, I need to go back to... What's our shots? I need to go back to Skyhold for a bit. That's another thing about this game is that, again, I said this before, they do a better job of accents, but sometimes it's like Dennis Lawson. I didn't even clock that. Maybe original trilogy again. Yeah. In the original trilogy, yeah. In fact, he told Ewan McGregor not to take the role of in Star Wars because, according to him, Star Wars is such a big, insane thing that you really don't. It takes over your life, right? But yeah, it's kind of hard to notice. I mean, you really have to watch the movies a lot. But in the first and second movies, he's basically using I would call it generic North American accent. And then he goes on to use his real accent in the third movie. Whether he didn't care or... Hi, Varric. Bye, Varric.
Venatori mage back to Adamant Fortress. They're looking at assault options now in the war room. Thanks for coming. You did well, Varric.
I'm sure he's done a ton of roles, especially in Britain, but again, one of the local cinema and television is not the same thing as, such a big movie like Star Wars.
The order was sent?
This morning.
Inquisitor.
The city has agreed to send us 6 guardsmen.
Not raw recruits. With luck, they'll know which end to grip a sword by.
Where's the thing for the translation of... Or maybe I already did it and I don't.
Let's see what we have.
Okay, I think I already did it. Yeah, and I don't blame him, right? I mean, yes. Although I'd rather. Here's the thing about being in movies and stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, somebody gets paid. I don't know, depending on where you are in the market, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions of pounds, euros, or dollars. But you might not see a big paycheck like that in years, right? So it's like, oh, superior. But I don't have any Dalek warriors I could use. Anyway. Never you mind.
So I'm thinking...
Yeah. Like, you want to be... No, no. And considering everything has happened with The Force Awakens and all of that, the fandoms. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I can... Where can I find the writings? Ah. Okay. Okay, no. Yeah. And just the intensity of it all. I mean, think about it. A normal project, you go in, you do the job, you get paid, you go home, right? But anything that is so big and so huge, it's...
It's no use. We can't cross here. Someone at Skyhold will have a solution.
Oh. Yeah, you leave the big desert rhino alone.
ship.
Let's see if we can find some writings for this. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna be very over level by the time I finish this. I'm thinking of only getting one DLC, and that DLC probably will be Trespasser. This is just murder for murder's sake. Where could the writing be? Already been here. Got everything. Okay, let me check the quest. Ancient Dimension has some marvelous diagrams, but Frederick is unable to read the script. Find the writing on dragon luring. Journal. I think I already have this. I must have, because I went through here already. No, but I have to get it translated, so... Ah, there it is. Manifest. Second champion artifact for Griffinwind Keep. 3 staves. Properties unknown. 1 vessel for bloodletting. 6 damage stones of varying degrees of legibility. Remains of a lyrium sensor. Okay. Well, that's... I'm still trying to find writing or anything? That wasn't it? Hmm. Oh, doesn't seem anything around here, nope. Got my Tootsie's went. Nothing over here. And I drowned. So swords and shields and oh my. Could it be over here? The other side, maybe? Apparently. Well, there doesn't seem to be any writings here. I hate when this happens. Healing mist grenade. I need to do that. What the heck? Where are you? Okay, let me see if... Let's talk to him, because it triggered something when I read that. I don't know if it's a glitch or something, which I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see.
Of course, Durin's theory of High Dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
Nope.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Could it be in the Forgotten Mine? Oh, that was another glitch. See, that bird went like... Boing. Oh, I didn't... Yeah, what's wrong with you birds? You're glitching. Talking of glitching, I didn't touch this. Ah, yes. I need a quarter. Here's a quarter. I hate when this happens, when you're like, oh yeah, this is nowhere to be found, and you run around and around and around you go, and fuck it, you can't find nothing. I know I need the writings. The writings then lead me to... I need to get them translated back in Skyhold. And then from there... I can't. I probably have to look it up in a guide somewhere. I hate when that happens. And I keep saying that because it's true. I do hate it. Could it be back here? Doesn't seem like it, but... Not seeing anything that resembles writings of any sort. Don't kill the Fennec, come on. Kill enough of those. I'm level 16 already? Oh, yeah, I think I can, let me see. This one is not so good. He's not level 15, so... I kept the purple around that I'm not gonna use. Love root? Nope. That was some dramatic leaping I saw you guys do there. Congratulations. Very impressive. See, I'm back where I... Yeah, I know. This is... I'm now officially bewildered. I found the stuff there, right? But that's some notes about some things and... Could it be inside? I doubt it. Well, I'm about to finish for today anyway, so I'm gonna leave it here and pick it up tonight. But thank you, Hector, for joining me and everyone else who was here. As always, we play at 8 o'clock and at 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern. And we'll see what happens when it happens. No podcast tonight, I think, but we will continue tonight. And then tomorrow there'll be a House Divided, our sci-fi RPG online. So, again, thank you for coming. And as always, we'll see you when we see you. Bye.